Captain Jiho Park stood tall as he walked into the meeting room. His black uniform was clean and pressed. The medals on his chest showed his years of service to Earth. Today was not a day he would forget. Today, humans would learn, if they had, a future among the stars. The room was large and cold. A round table sat in the middle. On one side were 5 humans, Earth's United Defense Council. Jiho was one of them. On the other side sat 3 aliens. They were called Viridians. Jiho tried not to stare at them. Each Viridian had 6 large eyes that seemed to look everywhere at once. Their skin was almost see-through, showing the blue blood moving inside them. They had 4 arms and stood nearly 7 feet tall. Their outer shells looked hard like armor. "We thank you for this meeting," said General Song, the head of the Defense Council. Her voice was steady, but Jiho could see her hands gripping the table hard. The middle Viridian moved forward. A small box on its chest made a buzzing sound before words came out in English. "We do not come for friendly talks," the box translated. "We come with terms." The room grew even colder. Jiho felt the small hairs on his neck stand up. "Your kind has spread too far into space that is not yours," the alien continued. "Your weak species has no right to the worlds you have claimed." General Song leaned forward. "We have followed all galactic laws for colony settlement. We have..." The Quar. Viridian slammed one of its 4 hands on the table. "Laws made by weak species. The true law of space is strength, and you have none." Jiho's jaw tightened. Earth had joined the galactic community only 30 years ago. Humans were still new to space travel compared to races like the Viridians, who had been among the stars for thousands of years. "What do you want?" Jiho asked, keeping his voice calm. All 6 of the Viridians' eyes turned to him. "You have 2 of your Earth months to leave all colonies beyond your home system. All humans must return to Earth or die. This is mercy. We could destroy you all." General Song stood up. "That's more than 50 colonies, millions of people. It would be impossible to evacuate them all in 2 months even if we wanted to." "That is not our concern," the Viridian said. "Your species evolved on what we call a Deathworld, a planet so dangerous that it's surprising you survived at all. Yet you survived only to die among the stars. Accept your place or face war." With that, the 3 aliens stood and walked out, their many legs making clicking sounds on the floor. For a long moment, no one at the table spoke. Then General Song looked at each council member. "Options?" she asked. "We fight," said Admiral Yoon, his face red with anger. "We have ships. We have weapons." "Their technology is far beyond ours," said Dr. Kim, the council's science advisor. "Their bioarmor makes our weapons almost useless. In the test battles, it took 20 direct hits to bring down 1 Viridian soldier." Jiho had seen those reports. Earth ships had managed to capture a single Viridian scout vessel 3 weeks ago. The 4 alien crew members had nearly destroyed the entire human boarding team before being stopped. "So we surrender our colonies?" Jiho asked. "Leave millions to die?" The room fell silent again. "No," said Dr. Hana Kim, speaking for the first time. She was Earth's top expert on alien biology. Her small frame and quiet voice often made people underestimate her. Jiho knew better. Her mind was sharper than anyone's he had ever met. "I may have an idea," she continued, "but you'll need to trust me, and you'll need to approve funding and resources immediately." General Song looked at her. "What kind of idea?" Hana stood up. "Meet me at the Seoul Advanced Genetic Repository in 2 hours. I'll show you." The underground facility was one of Earth's most secret places. Jiho had heard of it but never been inside. Armed guards checked their IDs 3 times before letting them enter. Dr. Hana led them through white hallways that went deep underground. Finally, they reached a large metal door with more guards. "What you're about to see is classified at the highest level," she said. "I've been working on this project for 7 years, ever since we learned about other intelligent life." The door opened to reveal a massive round room. The walls were covered with screens showing what looked like animals, but not any animals Jiho had seen before. "What is this place?" General Song asked, looking around. This is the Lazarus Project, Hannah answered. She walked to a control panel and pressed some buttons. The center of the room lit up, and a 3D image appeared. A huge wolf, larger than any wolf should be. This is Canis dirus, the dire wolf, Hannah explained. It went extinct on Earth about 10,000 years ago. It was bigger, stronger, and fiercer than any wolf alive today. She pressed more buttons. More images appeared. A massive cat with teeth, like knives. A bear that seemed as big as a car. Lizards with claws that looked like they could cut through metal. These are the apex predators that once ruled Earth, Hannah continued. Smilodon, the saber-toothed cat. Arctodus, the short-faced bear. Megalania, a lizard that makes today's Komodo dragons look like pets. Jiho stared at the images. These all died out long ago. What good are pictures of extinct animals? Hannah smiled. They're not just pictures, Captain. She walked to another door and pressed her hand against a scanner. Follow me. The new room was colder. Glass containers lined the walls. Each one held something that looked like red jelly. This is viable DNA from every major predator species that ever lived on Earth, Hannah said. We've been collecting it from fossils, from animals preserved in ice, from ancient samples, and we figured out how to make it work again. General Song stepped forward. Are you saying you can bring these animals back to life? Not just bring them back, Hannah said. Improve them. Make them stronger, faster, more intelligent. She looked at each council member. The Viridians think we're weak because we come from what they call a Deathworld. They don't understand that Earth made us strong. It made these creatures even stronger. You want to use extinct animals to fight an alien invasion? Admiral Yoon asked, his voice showing his disbelief. The Viridians evolved on a world with little danger, Hannah explained. No large predators, no extreme weather. They never had to adapt to threats like we did. Their bio-armor was designed to stop weapons, energy blasts, bullets, explosives, but teeth that can crush bone, claws that can tear through flesh. Their armor was never designed to stop that. Jiho looked at the DNA samples, then back at the images of the ancient predators. How quickly can you make this happen? He asked. Hannah's eyes gleamed. With full funding and priority access to resources, we can have the first specimens ready in 3 weeks. General Song was quiet for a long moment. Then she nodded. Do it, she said. If the Viridians want to see what a Deathworld species is capable of, we'll show them. As they left the facility, Jiho looked up at the night sky. The stars seemed colder now, more dangerous. But for the first time since the Viridians had delivered their ultimatum, he felt something new. Hope. Humanity would not go quietly. The creatures that had once hunted humans, the predators that had shaped human evolution, through millions of years of survival on a Deathworld, would now hunt at humanity's side. The Viridians had no idea what was coming. The asteroid base was huge. Once it had been a mining operation, pulling rare metals from the giant rock. Now it was something else entirely. The humans had renamed it Project Genesis. Commander Taewon Lee walked through the main hallway, his boots making loud sounds on the metal floor. He did not want to be here. He was a soldier, not a zookeeper. But orders were orders. Commander, thank you for coming. Dr. Hannah Kim stood at the end of the hallway. Her white lab coat was clean, but her eyes showed she had not slept much. I didn't have a choice, Taewon said. General Song thinks your project is our best hope. Hannah nodded. Follow me. I want to show you what we've achieved in just 3 weeks. They walked through a security door. The room beyond was filled with large glass tanks. Scientists in white suits moved around them, checking screens and making notes. This is Growth Chamber 1, Hannah explained. We've successfully activated the DNA of 12 extinct species so far. Taewon looked at the tanks. Most held small shapes floating in clear liquid. They didn't look like much. These don't look like weapons to me, he said. Hannah smiled. These are just embryos. The first step. But we have some that are further along. This way. They entered another room. This one was bigger, with larger tanks. And in one of them, something moved. Taewon stepped closer. Inside the tank was a wolf. but not like any wolf he had ever seen. This one was huge, with shoulders that would reach his chest. Its fur was thick and dark, and its head was massive. "This is the first successful resurrection," Hana said, her voice full of pride. "Canis dirus, the dire wolf. This one is a male we call Alpha. He's twice the size of ancient specimens." The wolf turned its head and looked at Taiwan. Its eyes were bright yellow, alert and intelligent. "It's watching me," Taiwan said, feeling a chill run down his back. "Yes, their intelligence is much higher than we expected. We've enhanced their brains along with their bodies." Taiwan stepped back. "This is insanity. You expect these animals to fight the Viridians? They don't even know what a Viridian is." Hana's face turned serious. "We've thought of that. Come with me." They walked to yet another room. This one had a large open space in the center. A man wearing some kind of helmet stood in the middle. Next to him was another dire wolf, this one standing free. "This is Trainer Junho and Beta, Alpha's sister," Hana explained. "Watch." The man didn't speak. He just moved his hand slightly. The wolf immediately sat down. Another small hand movement, and the wolf laid down. Then the man touched. His helmet and the wolf stood and walked to a target on the far wall. It hit the target with its nose exactly in the center. "What is this?" Taiwan asked. "Neural linking," Hana said. The helmet connects to a small device in the wolf's brain. It lets the human guide the animal with thoughts, not control, guide. The wolf is still making choices, but it understands what the human wants. Taiwan watched as the man and wolf worked together, completing more complicated tasks. "We're pairing each animal with a human partner," Hana continued. "They train together. Build trust, it's working better than we hoped." "And the other animals? The cats and bears you showed us?" Hana's eyes lit up. "Even better than the wolves. Follow me to the special projects area." They walked down a long hallway to a huge room. Taiwan stopped at the entrance, his mouth open, in shock. The room was set up like a forest with trees and rocks. Moving through this fake forest were animals Taiwan had only seen in history books. A pack of what looked like small dinosaurs moved together, their movements quick and planned. A massive bear stood on its back legs, reaching up to grab something from a high tree branch. Its claws were as long as Taiwan's fingers. "Velociraptors," Hana said, pointing to the dinosaur-like creatures. "And that's a short-faced bear, twice as big as a grizzly, 3 times as strong." "How many?" Taiwan asked, still staring. "So far, 30 dire wolves, 15 velociraptors, 5 short-faced bears, 8 saber-toothed cats, and 12 megalania, lizards, all with enhanced strength, intelligence, and special adaptations for space combat." "Space combat? These are Earth animals. They can't survive in space." Hana tapped a screen on the wall. Images showed the animals wearing fitted armor suits. These suits give them everything they need: air, protection, even thrusters for movement, and their natural abilities make them perfect weapons against the Viridians. Taiwan turned to face. Natural abilities? Dire wolves have bite forces strong enough to crush bones. Saber-toothed cats have teeth that can pierce almost any material. Short-faced bears have strength that would amaze you. And velociraptors are smarter than any predator that ever lived, with problem-solving skills close to humans. Taiwan looked back at the animals. Despite his doubts, he felt a spark of hope. "What about the Viridian ships? These animals can't fight in space battles." Hana's smile grew wider. "That's our biggest project, come see." They took an elevator down. The doors opened to reveal a massive tank that filled an entire room. The water inside was dark, but Taiwan could see something huge moving in there. "What is that?" he asked, stepping closer to the thick glass. "Carcharodon megalodon," Hana said, her voice quiet with respect. "The largest predatory fish that ever lived. Grew up to 60 feet long, teeth the size of your hand. This one is young, only 30 feet but growing fast." The shape in the water turned and Taiwan saw it clearly. A shark but bigger than a bus. Its mouth could swallow a car. "We're fitting them with biomechanical systems," Hana continued. "Special armor, propulsion units, and even weapons. They'll be like living ships, with human pilots connected through advanced neural links." "You're Turning sharks into spaceships? Taewon couldn't believe what he was hearing. Not exactly, more like space fighters. Fast, powerful, and completely unexpected. The Viridians won't know what hit them. Taewon stared at the huge shark. He had been a soldier for 20 years. He had fought in the First Contact War. He had seen terrible things and amazing things. But this was beyond anything he could have imagined. How long until they're ready? He asked. The wolves, raptors, and bears are ready now. The cats need another week. The megalodons will take 2 more weeks. Taewon nodded slowly. The Viridians gave us 2 months. We have 3 weeks left. We'll be ready, Hana said. Earth's ancient predators are coming back, Commander. And this time they're fighting for us, not against us. As they left the megalodon chamber, Taewon thought about the Viridians with their advanced technology and bioarmor. They thought humans were weak because they came from a dangerous planet. They were about to learn how wrong they were. They were about to meet the real monsters of Earth. 1 week before the Viridian deadline, the attack ships were ready. They were unlike any ships ever built by humans. Each one was designed to carry both human soldiers and their animal partners. Min-Soo Choi checked her gear one more time. Her black armor fit perfectly. The helmet had special controls that connected to the neural link in her brain. Through this link, she could guide her partners, a pack of 4 dire wolves. All Rangers report to Launch Bay 3, said a voice over the speakers. Min-Soo picked up her weapon and walked to the bay. 20 other Rangers were already there, each with their own neural helmets. Some were paired with wolves like her. Others had different animals, bears, cats, or raptors. Commander Taewon entered the room. Everyone stood straight. At ease, he said. Today we make our first strike against the Viridians. They think we are going to surrender. They are wrong. He touched a screen on the wall. A map appeared showing a moon orbiting Jupiter. This is Europa, Taewon continued. The Viridians have built a forward base here. It's where they plan to launch attacks on our colonies once the deadline passes. We're going to hit them first. Min-Soo felt her heart beat faster. This would be the first real test of the animal program. Ranger Choi, Taewon said, looking at her. Your team will lead the attack. Your wolves are our fastest units. You'll go in first, create confusion, and open the way for the others. Min-Soo nodded. Yes, sir. Remember, Taewon said to everyone, the Viridians have never seen Earth's predators. They don't know what they're capable of. Use that surprise to your advantage. The trip to Europa took 6 hours. Min-Soo spent the time with her wolves. Storm, thunder, lightning, and rain. They wore special armor suits that would protect them in space and on Europa's icy surface. Through her neural link, Min-Soo could feel their excitement. They weren't just animals. The scientists had made them smarter, more aware. They understood this was a hunt and they were eager to begin. 5 minutes to landing, said the pilot's voice. Min-Soo put on her helmet and checked the wolves' armor one last time. Everything was good. She took a deep breath and prepared herself. The ship landed with a soft bump. The door opened, showing Europa's surface, all ice and rock, with Jupiter huge in the black sky. Go, said the commander's voice in her ear. Min-Soo ran down the ramp, her wolves beside her. They moved quickly across the icy ground toward the Viridian base. The base was a large metal structure built into the side of an ice cliff. Approaching target, Min-Soo said into her helmet mic. No sign they've spotted us yet. Through her helmet, she could see heat signals inside the base. Viridians moved around, unaware of the danger coming their way. All teams, attack now, came Taewon's order. Min-Soo touched a control on her helmet. She sent a simple thought to her wolves. Hunt. The 4 dire wolves shot forward, moving faster than any Earth wolf could. Their powerful legs pushed against the low gravity, sending them in long, fast leaps toward the base. Min-Soo followed, her own suit helping her move quickly. 2 other ranger teams came from different directions, one with saber-toothed cats, another with velociraptors. The wolves reached the base first. With powerful bites, they tore into the outer door. The metal designed to withstand weapons gave way under teeth evolved to crush the bones of Ice Age animals. Alarms began to sound. Viridian soldiers rushed to defend the entrance. They were tall and looked strong in their bio-armor. They carried energy weapons that glowed blue. "Careful," Minsu warned through her link. "Those weapons can hurt you." The wolves didn't slow down. They dodged the blue energy blasts and crashed into the Viridian line. Storm, the largest wolf, hit the first alien with the force of a small car. His jaws closed around the Viridians. Arm and Minsu heard a cracking sound through her audio link. The Viridian screamed, a high, strange sound. Its bio-armor, designed to stop bullets and energy weapons, couldn't stop the wolf's teeth. The other wolves attacked too. They moved in the pack hunting pattern they had been trained for, targeting different Viridians, striking fast and hard. Minsu moved in behind them, firing her own weapon at Viridians who tried to regroup. Through her neural link, she could see what her wolves saw, feel what they felt. It was like being 5 hunters at once. "Team 2, move in," she ordered. The saber-toothed cats arrived next. They were bigger than the wolves, with teeth like knives. They jumped high in the low gravity, landing on Viridians and bringing them down with powerful bites to the neck and back. The Viridians tried to fight back. They fired their weapons, hitting some of the animals. But even when hurt, the earth, predators kept fighting. They had been made stronger, tougher, and they had something the Viridians didn't understand: the drive to hunt, to kill, built into them over millions of years of evolution on a dangerous planet. "They're retreating inside," Minsu reported. "Team 3, cut them off." The velociraptors came from another entrance they had made. They were smaller than the wolves or cats, but faster and smarter. They worked together with a plan, herding the Viridians into a trap. From the command ship orbiting above, Captain Ji-Ho Park watched the battle through the Ranger's helmet cameras. What he saw amazed him. The Viridians were in chaos. Their orderly formations had broken apart. Their commanders were shouting orders that no one followed. They had never faced an enemy like this, unpredictable, savage, and seemingly unstoppable. "They're panicking," Ji-Ho said to Dr. Hana Kim, who stood beside him. Hana nodded. "They evolved on a world with no large predators. They never developed the instincts to fight creatures like these. Their bio-armor was designed to stop technology, not teeth and claws." On the surface, the battle was turning into a rout. Ranger teams had secured the main entrance and were pushing deeper into the base. The short-faced bears had arrived, using their enormous strength to tear through internal doors and walls. Minsu and her wolves found the control room. 10 Viridians waited inside, weapons ready. "Careful," she told her wolves through the link. "We need to take this room intact." The wolves spread out. Minsu fired smoke grenades into the room, filling it with thick clouds. The Viridians couldn't see, but the wolves didn't need to. They could smell, could sense movement. They attacked from 4 directions at once. Minsu heard screams, then silence. When she entered the room, her wolves stood guard over 2 surviving Viridians. The rest lay on the floor, their bio-armor torn open. "Control room secured," Minsu reported. 2 prisoners taken. "Well done, Ranger," came Taewan's voice. "All teams report success. The base is ours." Minsu patted Storm's armored head. The wolf looked up at her, yellow eyes bright with the thrill of the hunt. "Good boy," she said. "Good hunt." In just 3 hours, the Europa base had fallen. Human casualties were minimal. The message to the Viridian High Command was clear. Humans would not surrender. The deadline meant nothing. Instead, humanity had unleashed the very forces that had shaped them, the predators of Earth, now hunting among the stars. The Viridians did not take their defeat on Europa well. 2 days after losing the base, they sent a message to Earth. "Your use of animals is an insult to civilized warfare," the Viridian leader said through the translator. "For this you will pay. We are sending our planet killer vessel. You have 3 days until it reaches Earth. Then you will see true power." The United Defense Council met right away. Captain Ji-Ho Park stood by the wall, listening as they talked. "What is a planet killer vessel?" General Song asked. Admiral Yoon looked grim. "Our spies say it's their biggest warship. It can fire a beam that breaks apart a planet's crust. Not total destruction, but enough to kill most life. Can our weapons stop it? Asked another council member. No. Its shields are too strong for our weapons. The room fell quiet. Then Dr. Hana Kim stood up. We have one option left, she said. Operation Leviathan is ready. Jiho had heard about this project. It was Dr. Kim's most secret work. Even he didn't know all the details. The megalodons? General Song asked. Hana nodded. They're ready. 5 of them, fully grown and equipped. Admiral Yoon laughed without humor. You want to send prehistoric sharks against a planet-killer ship? This isn't a time for jokes. It's not a joke, Hana said firmly. The megalodons are our most powerful assets. Each one is over 60 feet long with enhanced systems. They're not just animals anymore. General Song looked at the room. Do we have any other options? No one spoke. Then Operation Leviathan is approved, she said. Dr. Kim, make it happen. Lieutenant Jae-in Yoon walked into the massive underwater hangar. Her heart beat fast with excitement and fear. Today she would meet her partner for the first time. Dr. Hana Kim waited for her by the edge of the huge pool. Lieutenant Yoon, thank you for volunteering, Hana said. You understand this mission is very dangerous? Jae-in nodded. Yes, Doctor, but I also understand it's necessary. Good. Let me introduce you to your partner. Hana pressed a button on her tablet. The water in the pool stirred. Something huge moved beneath the surface. This is Thunder, Hana said. Female megalodon, 65 feet long, the largest of our 5. The water broke as the massive shark's head rose above the surface. Jae-in gasped. The head alone was the size of a small car. The megalodon's eyes were not the dead black of modern sharks, but bright blue and alert. Looking into those eyes, Jae-in could sense intelligence there. She's amazing, Jae-in whispered. She's been waiting for you, Hana said. The neural link needs to be established before the mission. Jae-in took a deep breath. I'm ready. She followed Hana to a platform. Extending over the water, there, a technician helped her put on a special wetsuit. This suit connects directly to your nervous system, the technician explained. It will let you communicate with Thunder and guide her movements. When the suit was on, Jae-in stood at the edge of the platform. The huge shark waited below, watching her. Just dive in, Hana said. Let your instincts guide you. Jae-in took another deep breath and jumped. The water was cool around her. She swam toward the massive shark without fear. Something told her she was safe. As her hand touched the megalodon's rough skin, a jolt went through her mind. Suddenly, she could feel Thunder's thoughts, not words, but feelings, instincts, desires. The shark was curious about her, excited to meet her. Hello, Thunder, Jae-in thought. The shark didn't reply with words, but Jae-in felt a wave of greeting. A connection had been made. 2 days later, 5 special transport ships left Earth. Each carried a megalodon in a massive water tank. The sharks were now fitted with their battle armor. Metal plates covering vital areas, propulsion systems attached to their tails and sides, and weapons built into their armor. In the lead ship, Jae-in Yoon sat in a control chamber mounted on Thunder's back. The chamber was filled with a special breathing liquid that would protect her from the forces of space combat. All pilots, report status, came Admiral Yoon's voice through her comm. Thunder team ready, Jae-in replied. The other 4 pilots reported ready as well. The Viridian planet killer has entered Earth orbit, Admiral Yoon said. Our fleet is engaging but cannot break through its shields. Your mission is to get close enough to breach the hull and destroy the main power core. Jae-in checked her systems one last time. The neural link with Thunder was strong. The megalodon was eager, ready to hunt. Launching in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch! The ship's roof opened. The tank lifted, then tipped. Thunder and Jae-in slid out into open space. For a moment, Jae-in felt pure panic. They were floating in the emptiness of space. Then Thunder's propulsion system activated. The huge shark moved forward, guided by Jae-in's thoughts through the neural link. Around them, the other 4 megalodons also moved into position. Through her view screen, JN could see the Viridian ship ahead. It was enormous, shaped like a spike, at least 3 miles long. Blue energy crackled around it as it prepared to fire at Earth. "All units, attack pattern Alpha," JN ordered. The 5 megalodons spread out, approaching the Viridian ship from different angles. Thunder moved fastest, racing toward the ship's main engine section. Viridian defense systems spotted them. Energy beams shot out, trying to hit the fast-moving targets. But the megalodons were surprisingly quick and agile in space. Their propulsion systems let them change direction instantly, dodging the beams. "They've never seen anything like us," JN thought to Thunder. "They don't know how to fight us." Through the link, she felt Thunder's agreement. The megalodon was in hunting mode now, focused entirely on its target. They reached the Viridian ship's hull. Thunder opened her massive jaws. Teeth the size of daggers, specially enhanced with metal edges, bit into the ship's outer layer. The hull was tough, designed to withstand weapons and space debris. But it wasn't designed to resist the bite force of Earth's greatest predator fish, a bite enhanced by modern technology to generate over 50,000 pounds of pressure per square inch. Metal tore. Alarms sounded inside the Viridian ship. The other megalodons attacked different sections, their giant jaws ripping through the hull. "Hull breach successful," JN reported. "Moving to Phase 2. She guided Thunder through the hole they had made. They entered a massive chamber, some kind of hangar bay. Viridian crew members ran in panic, firing weapons at the huge shark that had invaded their ship. Energy blasts hit Thunder's armor but did little damage. The megalodon swam through the air of the hangar, propelled by her thrusters, hunting for her target. Through shared intelligence from Earth Command, JN knew the ship's power core was deep inside. She guided Thunder toward it, smashing through doors and walls when necessary. "All units, report," she called. "Storm Team, breached Section 3. Lightning Team, engaging defenders in Section 5. Rain Team, approaching power core from the north. Cloud Team, providing distraction at Command Center." The plan was working. The Viridians were in complete chaos. They had never imagined an attack like this. Giant prehistoric sharks swimming through their ship, immune to their weapons, destroying everything in their path. Thunder reached the central corridor leading to the power core. Viridian elite guards waited there with heavier weapons. "Be careful," JN warned through the link. Thunder responded by accelerating. The megalodon crashed into the guards like a living battering ram. Her jaws snapped left and right, crushing armor and limbs. From the Earth Defense Fleet, Captain Jiho Park watched through JN's camera feed. "It's working," he said to Admiral Yoon. "They're almost at the core." Thunder and Rain, the 2 largest megalodons, reached the power core chamber together. The core was a massive blue crystal pulsing with energy. "All units clear the target area," JN ordered. Preparing final strike. She activated Thunder's main weapon, a modified torpedo built into the megalodon's armor. As they swam close to the crystal, JN released it. "Strike successful. All units retreat." The 5 megalodons raced back through the ship, heading for the holes they had made. Behind them, the power core began to destabilize. They cleared the ship just as explosions started breaking out across its surface. The massive Viridian vessel began to break apart, its deadly weapons never firing at Earth. "Mission complete," JN reported, feeling Thunder's satisfaction through their link. Returning to base. As the 5 megalodons turned back toward Earth, JN looked at the destroyed Viridian ship. The aliens had called Earth a Deathworld, thinking it made humans weak. They had been very wrong. Earth's deadliest predators had followed humans to the stars, and the galaxy would never be the same. 3 months after the destruction of the planet killer ship, Captain Jiho Park stood in a large room in the United Earth headquarters. The room had been specially designed for today's meeting. "Are you sure about this setup?" General Song asked, him looking around with concern. Jiho nodded. "Dr. Kim says it's important. The Viridians need to understand exactly who they're dealing with." The room was unlike any meeting room ever used for diplomacy. Clear barriers made of the strongest glass lined the walls. Behind these barriers were examples of Earth's resurrected predators. On one side, a pack of dire wolves paced back and forth, their yellow eyes watching everything. On another wall, two saber-toothed cats lay on a high ledge, their massive teeth gleaming under the lights. A short-faced bear stood in one corner, reaching 12 feet tall when it rose on its hind legs. Most impressive was the massive tank built into the longest wall. Inside swam a young megalodon, just 30 feet long but still larger than any living shark. Its powerful body moved gracefully through the water as it watched the room with intelligent eyes. "The Viridian ship is landing," said a voice over the bow speakers. Jiho straightened his uniform. "Let's make history." 10 minutes later, the doors opened. 3 Viridians walked in, escorted by human guards. The lead alien was taller than the others, with markings on its transparent exoskeleton that showed its high rank. The Viridians stopped when they saw the animals behind the glass. All 6 eyes on each alien widened. "Is this display necessary?" asked the lead Viridian through its translator box. "These are not displays," Jiho replied calmly. "They are representatives of Earth, just as we are. The terms of our peace must include their interests as well." The Viridians moved cautiously to the table in the center of the room. They kept looking at the animals, especially when a velociraptor pack entered their enclosure and began watching the aliens with obvious interest. Dr. Hana Kim was already seated at the table. She wore her formal lab coat with Earth's emblem on the shoulder. "Welcome to Earth," she said. "I am Dr. Kim, Chief Scientist of Project Genesis." "You are the one who created these weapons?" the lead Viridian asked. "I helped resurrect them," Hana corrected. "They existed long before humans. They are part of Earth's history, part of what made us who we are." The lead Viridian sat down. "I am High Commander Zolt. I am authorized to negotiate peace terms with your species." General Song nodded. "We are prepared to discuss terms. But first, we believe there has been a misunderstanding that led to this conflict." "Misunderstanding?" Zolt's translator made the word sound confused. "Yes," Jiho said. "You called Earth a Deathworld. You thought this made us weak. You were wrong." He touched a control on the table. A hologram appeared, showing Earth as it was millions of years ago. Massive predators roamed the land, sea, and air. Humans evolved on a planet filled with dangers, Jiho continued. We had to become smart, adaptable, and tough to survive. The animals you see around you, they shaped us. They were our teachers, our challenges. Without them, we might never have developed the intelligence and strength that let us reach the stars. Zolt looked at the animals again. The dire wolves were watching him closely, as if studying a potential prey animal. "Our people evolved on a world with few dangers," Zolt admitted. "We had no large predators, no extreme weather, no natural disasters. We developed technology instead of physical adaptations." "And you assumed all intelligent life would follow the same path?" Hana said. "But the galaxy is full of different worlds that create different kinds of life." One of the saber-toothed cats stood up and stretched, showing its massive teeth and powerful body. The Viridians shifted nervously in their seats. "These creatures," Zolt said. "They obey you?" "They work with us," Jiho corrected. "We don't control them. We partner with them. They choose to help us." As if to prove his point, a door opened, and Min Soo Choi walked in with her dire wolf, Storm. The wolf wore no restraints, no control devices. He walked calmly beside her, his massive head reaching her shoulder. Min Soo sat at the table with Storm lying at her feet. The wolf watched the Viridians but made no aggressive moves. "This is Ranger Choi and Storm," Jiho introduced them. "They led the attack on your Europa base." Zolt's body language showed his surprise. "This is the creature that broke through our armor?" Min Soo nodded. "Storm and his pack. Dire wolves have bite forces strong enough to crush bone. Your bio-armor wasn't designed to withstand that kind of attack." "And the megalodons," Zolt said, looking at the huge shark in the tank. "They destroyed our greatest warship." "Yes," Jiho confirmed. "Earth's oceans created the most efficient predators in known space. You never considered that we might use them as allies rather than trying to make more advanced weapons." The room fell silent for a moment. Then Zolt spoke again. "We have clearly misjudged your species," he said. "We thought a Deathworld would produce only primitive, struggling life forms. Instead, it created both you and these formidable creatures." "Now you understand," General Song said. "So let's discuss peace." The negotiations lasted for hours. The Viridians, now understanding what they faced, were reasonable in their terms. They would respect human territory, establish trade relations, and share certain technologies. In return, humans would not expand beyond certain boundaries for the next 50 years and would never use their resurrected predators against Viridian worlds. "There is one more thing," Zolt said near the end. "Our scientists are very interested in studying your animals, not to create weapons," he added quickly, "but to understand how such creatures evolved." Hana nodded. "Supervised scientific exchange would be acceptable, but these animals are now protected species. They will never be used as mere specimens." When the talks finished, Jiho walked the Viridian delegation back to their ship. Zolt stopped before boarding and looked at Jiho. "You could have destroyed our worlds after you defeated our ship," he said. "Why didn't you?" Jiho smiled slightly. "Because surviving a death world doesn't just teach strength. It teaches when not to use that strength. Only species that learn cooperation survive long-term on worlds like Earth." Zolt seemed to consider this. "We have much to learn from Deathworlders, it seems. And we have things to learn from you," Jiho replied. "That's how peace works." After the Viridian ship departed, Jiho returned to the Genesis facility. In the main habitat area, he found Dr. Hana Kim watching the animals. "What happens to them now?" he asked. Hana smiled. "Some will remain in military service. Others will help us explore new worlds. The megalodons are already being prepared for deep space exploration missions." She turned to look at him. "But most importantly, they'll never go extinct again. We're establishing protected habitats on Earth and several colonies." Jiho watched as a group of dire wolf pups played with their mother. They were a new generation, born in space but carrying the genes of Earth's ancient past. "The Viridians called Earth a death world," he said quietly. "But they never understood what that really meant." "No," Hana agreed. "They saw only the danger, not the strength it created. Not just in us, but in all of Earth's children." In the years that followed, humans and their resurrected partners explored further into space. The sight of rangers with dire wolves or velociraptors became common in the galaxy. Megalodon ships dove into gas giants where no built vessel could survive. And on distant worlds, when new alien species asked about the strange animals that accompanied humans, they would tell the story of Earth, the death world that created both humans and monsters, and how in the end, they had become family.